I would be absolutely crushed if I found out my parents asked someone to be friends with me. That would...
Yeah,
I
right?
wonder if that did affect Chris at all. If you,
I don't know. Did Chris even view it that way?
Eventually, they found out. Yeah, but
didn't care.
at the time, they were very happy. It was the happiest time of their life, as they stated many times during their high school.
Yeah, it's almost...
Wait, what's the backstory behind this?
So Chris had a lot of gal pals, is that correct?
Yes.
In school.
Who were girls, but not girlfriends. Just friends who are girls.
Platonic relationship.
But he did want to have some of them
Were
to
they
be
boyfriend-free
girlfriends.
girls? as you would call it?
And you would see a lot of the pictures of like Chris's earlier birthday parties would be with these gal pals.
Right.
And it later found out that Chris's dad had asked, I believe, maybe their parents or them to be friends with Chris.
Actually, it was kind of an amazing situation where this was a later trolling attempt, I think, at around 2015 or so. Chris themselves tried to organize a high school reunion, so then they would finally meet up with their gal pals one more time. But during this time, trolls decided to pretend to be gal pals and stated in their emails that their parents only asked them to be friends with them in exchange for like money or good grades or whatever. And then Chris asked their mother, "Is this true?" And then she answered yes. They just coincidentally got it right.
Wow.
Jeez. But like, I'm thinking like, because even up until the whole trolling saga point, that I think a lot of these trolls knew already so much information about Chris's backstory and everything. Right?
Yeah,
so it's like, did they get it right coincidentally, or maybe there was like some hunch being like, well, you know.
It's also really sad watching. Oh, sorry, go on. I interrupted you. You had a question.
Oh no! I was just saying like, I wonder if it was actually a coincidence or not, or maybe they had a hunch of some kind to be like, maybe the parents did actually do this, and let's just like run with the story.
I guess it was a hint. Yeah, it means how likely is it for these gal pals to be so close with Chris? Honestly.
Right.
Yeah.
Reality is sometimes harsh, unfortunately.
I think one of the things that...
Did you just quote Thanos?
Reality is harsh.
Reality is often harsh.
It'll be whatever I want it to be.
I wasn't even aware because I've never even seen the fucking movie.
You've seen the memes.
I've seen the memes. I don't remember them.
You know subconsciously.
That meme was living rent-free in my head somewhere.
There was... The one thing that I felt very sad about watching this documentary is Chris's clear nostalgia and almost want to be back in high school.
Yeah.
And the fact that Chris never grows out of it.
Yeah.
That's what really just felt very sad watching, because, you know, this has been going on. We have videos of since Chris was God knows how young and it going up and just never changes. And always wants to be back in high school where things were simple and had gal pals.
Was their high school life good? Probably compared to now, but...
So they claim.
Right.
Lakeland was great because they had gal pals, and that's it really.
Also, I believe you know they used to frequent the local game store an awful lot as a child. Is that correct? Or as a
that
teenager?
one I'm not too sure about.
Right.
Personally, yeah.
I feel like people have a lot more patience when you're a child, right? And I felt that Chris had a lot of luxuries, probably the fact that people would probably, you know, they wouldn't question a lot of things, and they would also be very patient with some things. I'd imagine that people aren't really when you're an adult. People get kind of scared. Like there was a whole arc, if you will, with Chris in the game store.
Yes.
Where Chris ended up... Yeah, an arc.
There's arcs in the story.
There's multiple arcs. So Chris how did this start with Chris in the game store? Could you try to explain this rough arc to Gaunt?
Chris went to a local game store where they played games and bought games.
Pokemon trading
cards, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I could play, you know, games on the TV as well on the Wii at that time, I believe. And that's where they met their female friend, which they later drew, you know, in a certain way.
Drew a rock.
Yeah.
Reeled her in.
So yeah, in this game place, Chris really liked this female friend and got way too touchy several times, way too many times, even though she addressed this in emails privately, but Chris continued to do so. And eventually that relationship fell out after the image was leaked by Chris themselves. So
it's like who leaked all this information? It's always Chris.
It's always Chris, yeah.
So yeah, and after that point, Chris still continued to go to the game store for a little bit longer before they started causing way too much trouble. with the manager getting very annoyed by their constant hogging of the TV,
Right.
of the games,
Right.
possibly even shouting racial slurs at the African American children. So
Yikes.
Every single time you want to root for Chris, just so you hear something and you're like,
yeah.
for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You know, I get it if like, you know, Chris tried to like approach the girl, you know, to be like, yeah, I just want to be in a nice relationship with
Sexually
you. You know,
harassing.
like not in like a weird way kind of thing. And then they're just like, no, I'm going to do the worst thing possible to try and move this forward, move the relationship forward.
Had to be racist towards kids? Really?
Yeah.
Really? Anyway,
It's like being a nuisance is one thing. Hogging the TV is one thing.
it's almost, it's like
There's
gosh,
only
it's-
one thing worse than a racist: a child.
Yeah, true. It's like a comic book villain at times.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a Darman video, right? Just like it's so textbook racist, or in some ways where it's like you can't make this up. No
Yeah.
one would act like this.
Yeah.
And so anyway, carry on the game store.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were banned, and after about 9 months, I believe, Chris made a video on YouTube addressing the manager of the game store,
Right.
thinking that, you know, if you put his name in the title of the video, he would just magically see it and
Right.
and see this video addressed to him.
Well, like the manager's real name in the
Yeah,
title.
Honestly, yeah.
You know, because people just going onto YouTube and just typing out their full name, being like,
Yeah.
"Oh, who's made a video about me?"
Yeah.
Maybe if it wasn't like his name in the title at all, it was like the stock DV, like SMQ005 or whatever. Chris started the video with, "This video is addressed to the manager of the game store, blah blah blah," and
Yeah.
please let me back. I learned my lesson, you know, like that.
I remember
right,
this.
right.
Yeah, I do remember this.
Right.
And the manager was like, no.
Yeah, that like about half a year maybe after that, Chris was convinced by a trollsome gal pal or a girlfriend online to go back to the game store and try to get themselves unbanned.
Right.
They actually recorded the conversation privately on their person
Of course.
because Chris's girlfriend at the time, as far as they knew, thought it would be a very good idea, and like they would like be able to threaten the manager with like, oh you said this, and I don't know, try
Right. Use this blackmail.
to blackmail
Yeah.
him,
Right,
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 And then the manager said no, and just kicked him out again, and I think threatened to call the police. And then on the way out, Chris called the manager a Jew, and
You know what I mean? You see what I mean?
Jesus.
Okay, and then that happened, right? Yeah.
that happened. And then other things happened. Yes, about another year after that, Chris went back to the store with their mother, actually. And this was after their elderly father had died already.
Right.
So they went back to the store because they saw a new banner up on the store saying under new management or under a new owner, and they realized that the manager of the store now became the owner of the store and became angry again. They were kicked out, and on the way out, the manager of the store was run over by Chris's car twice. See, the thing was,
Not accidentally, right? Like,
well, the thing was, we're not really sure what was the order of the situation, but both Chris's mother and Chris themselves were driving the car, and
Right.
each took a turn to run over the game.
This is pretty horrible. This sounds like a fucking
It's
Looney
fucked
Tunes
up.
skit.
It's so you can't make this up.
It actually sounds like a Looney Tunes skit. at
Right,
this
right,
point.
right.
So I'm not sure who did it first. Like, did Chris accidentally do it, and then
Swap.
and then-
Oh, your turn. Yeah. Finish the job, please, mother.
or maybe they thought that like the second time the other person driving would like cover for them, you know, like
Right, right. You take
Right.
the
you
blame.
weren't driving. It was me. So then let's run over him twice. But anyway, yeah, they were both
Was
charged
it-
with manslaughter. No, it wasn't.
Manslaughter.
No, it wasn't manslaughter. It was like grievous bodily harm, or I don't know.
Was the sauna owner okay?
The owner was okay actually, and he actually wanted the charges to be dropped or at least lessened.
Damn.
oh,
Yeah.
what a nice manager. After
Someone
all
ran
the
me
shit
over.
they went through.
Yeah.
So we got racism, homophobia, hit and run. Like, is this person just speed running hate crimes now?
Yeah.
Like, what's,
Oh, there's more. There'll be more.
No, she's trying to like 100% hate crimes. Like getting the Xbox achievement, man.
It's like a bingo list of crimes. It is shocking how many you can accidentally commit when
Yeah.
you're not really
Is
aware.
Chris Chan the original gamer?
The completionist.
Oh God!
I mean, some people might say that Chris might be the first Let's Player in a way.
Yeah, because Chris did videos of
Chris
Little Big Planet.
Chris made a video on Little Big Planet back in 2002 or 3.
Wow.
And they were narrating their actions over it, which makes like
That's a Let's Play.
like one of the first Let's Plays ever. Yeah.
Holy shit.
And that review was actually published in the Nintendo Game Magazine, or was it Nintendo Power? Was it?
Nintendo Power.
Yeah, it was published there.
Right?
Wow.
Actually, Chris had 2 things published in Nintendo Power over the course of their life.
It was like an Animal Crossing video, if I remember correctly.
It was Animal Crossing. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Wow.
And they were talking about what they were doing. And one of the first things that Chris did during their narration in that video was saying that they were a high-functioning autistic virgin.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
This is something that Chris often mentioned very often. It was,
Yeah.
I'm a high-functioning autistic virgin. Which, when you watch it, it's like, what?
Yeah.
You're just not used to hearing
That's
that.
like 4 words I didn't think I would hear
Yeah.
next to each other.
Or someone self-proclaim.
Yeah, right.
Which is just, it's bizarre. And the whole, like I said, there's arcs, right? There's and the Gamestore is over like 10 years. No, it's quite a long time, if I remember correctly.
About 5 years, yeah.
It's quite a long
The
time.
Gamestore arc.
And also watching these this documentary, it's kind of, because it's all in chronological order, it's concerning how often stuff gets revisited and Chris tries again.